Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Find Ways to Win. I'm your host, FitzgeraldStephens. Appreciate you guys joining me once again, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I just appreciate you taking time to tune in. Once again, I'd like to thank the subscribers, both old and new, for us for the support that you're giving on this channel. I'm very, very appreciative of that. Very, very grateful for that. Also ask you guys to go ahead and hit that notification button so when I do come on, which is often around this time, being with my work schedule now, that you would definitely be able to tune in. Hope you had an incredible day. Hope the day has been very, very positive for you. If it hasn't, forget about it. And just make it a positive day when you have another chance to compete again tomorrow. Want to talk to you guys about a matter that's on my heart. It's the title of this stream is called "Stop Running, Turn, Face, and Fight." Stop running, turn, face, and fight. Running. Sometimes it's good to run. And sometimes it's good to run from certain things, especially you have a propensity for weaknesses towards those things, and you know that you have not developed the spiritual and the mental strength in order to overcome that. There are some things you just simply just get away from. You run away from it. And the Holy Bible, which I adhere to, the only thing I'm seeing that it says the flee or run from is sexual sin, but in particular names fornication is one. That's the only time I see to see where the statement is made to run. The rest of the book is about actually overcoming obstacles, facing them, and fighting to overcome to win. Now, you can't go on running from your problems in life. You can't keep going about just constantly when you come up against an obstacle or seemingly insurmountable odds, for us rather the way you're looking at it, that your first thing is just to flee and to evade and to get away. Always constantly keep your back turned towards your enemy. You're running away. You're fleeing. You're not facing your challenges. You're not doing anything. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not a recipe for life. There are enemies in your life, and rest assured, you do have them. Even if you think everyone loves you and everything loves you, I'm here to tell you emphatically that that's not true. There are some things you are definitely going to have to stop running from. You're going to have to turn around. You're going to have to face your enemies and your obstacles and your situations, and you're going to have to learn how to fight skillfully. Fight to overcome, fight to win. Once you start developing an attitude like that, that's going to give you confidence. That's going to give you courage. That is going to give you victory. You want to develop an attitude that you are an overcomer. Well, in order to be an overcomer, you have to defeat something. You have to defeat something or someone, even yourself at times like that. You have got to face your fears. You cannot keep running from things and expecting that they are just going to leave you alone. Sometimes you have to actually destroy your enemies. You have to actually destroy those hangups and those setbacks and those things which so easily beset you on your road to victory. You have got to learn how to do that. And if you can't do that, don't expect anything positive to keep going on in your life. As a matter of fact, when you start seeing any type of threat, and you start seeing any type of things that are brewing on the horizon, get ready for battle. Get ready to engage. Get ready to fight. Get ready to build a resolve. Like, I'm going to overcome this. And guess what? When you start overcoming that, you're going to face something else, and you're going to overcome that, provided you're sitting around in there taking the necessary steps in order to win in your life, in order to achieve in your life. And once you do that, you're gonna start feeling good about yourself. You're gonna start building a track record of victory and a track record of resolve and a track record of obtaining the results that you need and that you so desperately, the goals that you so desperately want in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, you're always gonna face fear. You're always, even some of the most courageous people, walking on the planet right now, and have walked before us. They had the fears, but yet they faced those fears and they overcame, and they turned around. And they started facing their problems, and they started fighting to win. There is no middle ground. Either you have victory or you have defeat. Either you have victory and you have defeat. Now, as a student of history, when I see victory, I see exaltation, I see elevation, I see going to higher levels, more breakthrough in your life, more resolve, more wealth, more freedom, and more of the great things that you wanted to have. But I see people who allow themselves to be defeated. I see them in slavery. I see them in mental anguish. I see them in turmoil. I see them in dissatisfaction. I see them in a lack of confidence and just lack of just wanting to go on anymore. The depression can often that will often result in that. Anxiety will often result into that. Job loss will often result for that. Family structures being broken down and will often be a part of those who refuse to fight, those who refuse to face their obstacles, face their inner turmoils, their inner demons, as some people will call them. And you just got to understand that, you know what, you're going to have to fight for your success. You're going to have to fight for your life. You're going to have to fight to achieve the things that you necessarily say that you want to do. You got to develop courage. Courage is developed before the battle. Courage is really, really developed for the battle. It's developed through practice. It's developed through discipline. It's developed through mindset. It's developed through the right corresponding action. It's developed from learning how to calm your spirit. It's developed by learning how to be relaxed and be steadfast in peace, and then seeing yourself in the battle, winning the battle before you engage into it. Never underestimate your enemies. Never underestimate yourself. Never think that something is simply too strong for you. That something that the countless people have overcame generations way before you, and that people are overcoming right now. If them, why not you? If they can overcome, why not you? What makes them different? You know, they are restricted by the same time constraints as any other human being. They are restricted by the same hangups as any other man and woman. What makes a person different who decides to stop running and who decides to face what is trying to defeat and destroy them, and who has decided that I'm going to fight. You know, I'm either going to overcome this enemy, or this enemy is going to come to me, but overcome me. But I'm not just going to sit down and lie down and let this thing just dominate me, and let this thing just keep stealing from me, and let this thing just keep breaking me inside, and developing its will over my life. That is over far as for you. It's over far as for me, and it's over far as for anyone who chooses it to be. Now, if you want to keep victory in your life, be skillful in battle. Be skillful in planning. You know, be skillful in execution. Be skillful in building strength before you're in the battle. Be skillful with mindsets. See yourself always calm, no matter what situation you're in, no matter who's falling apart or what's falling apart around you. See yourself as being a man or woman of resolution, a man and woman of victory. You know, look at study your enemies. Study the things that hang you up. Study the things that overcome you so easily. What is the door that they're coming in? What door have you not closed? What window have you not closed? What do you keep allowing? How are you forecasting? How are you telegraphing the things in your mind? Do you know your enemy? Do you know their weaknesses? Do you know their strength? Do you know their routes? Do you know their ways of how this thing is going to keep a society? Or do you just curl up in a ball and just hoping after they kick you enough times that their foot will get tired or the leg will get tired and eventually they'll just leave you alone? It will not. The enemies of your life will not leave you alone until you destroy them. The enemies of your soul and your spirit will not leave you alone till you destroy them. You must rid yourself of them. You must put them in a situation that that particular enemy will never dare up to rise up again against you. And you must have that resolution. You won't achieve anything without that. You won't have any lasting result about that. Your enemies of your life, whoever they may be, or whatever they may be, they won't get deterred till they absolutely destroy you. Now you got to understand that. You got to understand that in plain, simple, harsh terms. Either you win or you lose. Either you walk in victory or you walk in defeat. Either you have great relationships and you're willing to face the enemy of conflict with problem solving, critical thinking. You're willing to face the enemy of your body by getting yourself back in good health and doing the necessary things to maintain that health, or you're just going to forfeit your life. You're just going to be running like a stick of wood in a mighty river. Those enemies are going to carry you where they want to go, and often they carry you in the place where you don't want to go. You have to resolve that. Hey, I fight. I don't run. I don't quit. If I retreat, that's not necessarily being defeated. I only retreat to regroup. I only retreat enough to come back stronger. But make no doubt, enemy of whoever you are, whatever you are, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you because this part of my life, in my life, you will not dominate. You will not dominate me anymore. I'm not afraid of you. As my martial art teacher has said to me, he said, I'm not scared of you, and I'm not, I don't necessarily want to fight, not unless I have to. But when I engage, I'm fighting to win. I'm going to battle because my goal is to come home. My goal is to walk in that victory and that exaltation of life and that greatness of life, and in my walk in my goals, walk in my dreams, and that should be your mindset too. Now, you can be nervous before conflict. That's cool. You can not necessarily want to engage in battle. That's cool. You can have a little fear before you engage in battle. That's true. Before you start overcoming the obstacles of your life or whatever those hangups that are easily besetting you, that are easily throwing you off base. That's cool. But understand, once you turn and once you start fighting, there is nothing on your mind except destruction of this enemy. There's nothing on your mind except destruction of your foe that's meaning to destroy you. You have to look at it like that. There is no nice guys when you're fighting. There is not necessarily rules of engagement that when you're necessarily fighting. As far as what fighting for, especially when you're fighting for your very life, when you're fighting for your family, when you're fighting for your destiny, when you're fighting for your career, when you're fighting for your financial future, when you're fighting for your health, when you're fighting, to be able to compete out in this world and being able to put yourself in a position that generations after you will be able to live those benefits simply because you had the courage to overcome. You're fighting sometimes, battles for your children and your grandchildren, so they don't have to face this particular enemy because you've already dealt with and overcame these enemies of your life. And if you think that you are so kind, or you think that you are so spectacular, so special that no one, that everyone loves you, that's a fallacy. That's a lie. There are things and sometimes often people who are jealous of you and who want to see your destructions, who silently hope in your defeat. But some people who are really praying for your defeat. Some people have a twisted, wicked mind that they think your defeat is going to be their victory, their exaltation and stuff like that. Are you just going to let whatever just destroy you? Are you just going to let whatever just take from you, continually take from you? Because understand, once your enemies start taking from you, once the obstacles to your soul and your spirit starts taking from you, they don't stop. If they take a little bit, they want a little bit more. If they take a little bit more, they want a little bit more. They want enough until you are exhausted, until you just give up, until you just stop living, until you just consign for them to impose their will upon you. And so when we look at these things and we see the consequences of defeat, we see the humiliation, the degradation, as far as of that, is a little wonder that we should get darn serious about overcoming our enemies, overcoming our obstacles, overcoming those things that are trying to overcome us. You better be a person who is prone to a victorious mindset. Nothing worth achieving is going to just happen. Nothing worth having is just going to happen without conflict. The elements that be are not just going to let you walk seamlessly into territory and just take them over. They're going to fight you, so therefore you got to be resolved to fight them. I don't believe in loving everybody. I don't believe in necessarily always giving enemies second chances to destroy me. I don't believe if someone takes a shot at me that they're not going to take a shot at me again if I allow that, or if I don't neutralize that threat, and whatever that threat is. The biggest threat oftentimes is fear. Having a propensity to believe that you should even go out there and try to win. You shouldn't even go out there to try to achieve victory. After all, what's the use? You're gonna get hurt sometimes, and you're gonna get hurt during battle, and you probably gonna take some wounds during battle. And so maybe you don't like the pain. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just resolve just to shrink up in the corner and just sit there as if you're dead, as if you don't have any mindset, as if you don't have any will for greatness in your life. You can't be like that. You have to be an individual who is give me victory or give me death. I guess as the great statesman Patrick Henry said, before the start of the Revolutionary War. Great concept. Great concept, because victory is life. Victory is winning. Victory is exaltation. Victory is living life on your own terms. Victory is not being a slave to anyone or anything. Victory is freedom. Victory is exaltation. And that's what you want, the ability to choose your life on your terms, not having someone necessarily choose it for you, no matter how big the obstacle it may be. You may be David, and you're standing before Goliath and all five of his brothers. But you know what? You're gonna face and fight, because if you don't, they are going to enslave you and possibly kill you. And then they're not just going to stop with you. They're going to go to your next generation. So we have to look at these things. We have to really see what we're doing. Do we have a proper victory plan in place? Is it automatic? Many of us have been driving for several years. And a lot of times we drive, we don't necessarily have to think about the corresponding steps anymore. It's almost like it's a involuntary reflex. We know if a car is threatening us in our lane. We know if someone's too close. We know if a danger is present, or it comes on instantaneously. We know how to get out the way. We know how to brake. We know how to stop. We know what we need to do to evade being in any crash. Well, so is it that your life. It has sometimes if you're walking in victory and you really want to walk in a victory mindset, in a victory doing set, it has to be automatic. You automatically default that I don't run. I face what I'm dealing with, or whatever I have to deal with, and whoever I have to deal with, and I'm ready to prepare to fight. But nevertheless, this is going to stop. This type of domination over my life is going to stop. And as you make that resolution, and as you resolve to have that victory in your life, you're going to notice that it's going to lead to more victory. It's going to lead to greater strength. It's going to lead to greater strength, because once you subdue one enemy, get prepared to have a bigger one. Once you go up to one great level in your life, get ready to have an enemy that wants to stop you from going to the next level. This is life. This is a component of life. This is a part of life, and you can't just expect everything to always go your way, always be good. It's not going to be that way. You can't expect that when you have some obstacles, that you have some setbacks or some hangups or some hiccups or some detours in life. You just can't just stop moving forward. You just can't just lie there and stand still. Stand still for what? Stand still for where? If you're short of your goal, you haven't reached your goal. So you have to go out there and go at it in a harder way, go at it in a more surgical way, go out there and learn how to better be a better skillful warrior. Now, being an overcomer first starts with your mindset. Everything starts with your mindset / attitude. Believing that you can have the victory, to believe that you are worthy of the victory. Do you guys believe that you're worthy of having an abundant life? Do you believe that you're worthy of having a life of exaltation, a life of celebration, a life of a lasting, godly, incredible, rich legacy? Do you believe that? Do you believe that? And if you believe that, you're going to work towards that. But here's the other trick of that. Here's the other side of that coin. If you don't, you're going to do nothing to achieve that. Doing nothing is not an option, ladies and gentlemen. Doing nothing is actually doing something. Doing nothing is defeat. It is jail. It is humiliation. It is worn downness. It is weariness. It is homelessness. It is hunger. It is having your life being led to and fro by any little women doctrine. People lead you anywhere they want to go, and they don't ask your permission if they can take you there. They just pull you where they want you to be. Whether they use you to fulfill their purposes, or whether they use you to build their wealth, they'll take your very talent and not allow it to benefit you, but to benefit them. Shouldn't it be that your talents benefit you? Shouldn't it be that your resolution benefits you as opposed to benefiting everyone else? You have one life, your life. You are the captain of your life, not my life, not anybody else's life. You are the captain of your life. Shouldn't those decisions belong to you? Provided that you get wise counsel, provided that you train. I remember seeing the great actor Denzel Washington, and he was acting in a movie called Man on Fire. The man has made so many great movies and said so many great things, but he was training this little girl on how to swim, and she actually was a good swimmer, but she would get hung up by the gun. The gun would shoot and it would startle her, and that would cause her to hesitate, and that would cause her not to engage. So being the proper mentor that he was, he analyzed that. And he told her the gun doesn't matter. The sound of the gun doesn't matter. Ignore that. Go ahead and engage. Jump in the water. Swim your best. Forget the noise. Forget the outside noise. But he had to train her to fight against her hang-up. Her hang-up was stopping her from achieving the goal, even though she was a quite capable swimmer. But she was hesitant to engage because she was afraid of the sound. What sounds are you afraid of? What rumors are you afraid of? What mental images are you afraid of that stops you from fighting? That stops you from facing? Stops you from overcoming? And more importantly, stops you from even beginning? What are they? Have you really analyzed that? If you're constantly being defeated, you got to sit down and analyze, why am I getting hung up? Why am I constantly keep losing in this area? If you're losing in areas of love, if you're losing in areas of finances, if you're losing in areas of health, if you're losing in areas of job creation, business creation, promotion, if you keep losing these areas, and you keep facing this obstacle, no matter what job you go to, no matter what relationship you get in, that gets destroyed. You get walked off this job, walked off that job. Your business falls through after a little bit of work, and you keep facing the same enemies in different bodies. You got to start asking yourself, what is it in me? What is it in me that's drawing this to me? What is it in me that feels I just have to keep running in life? And that's what some people do, never finding rest, never finding peace, because they're always constantly on the move. and they're on the move in a bad way. Some people run from their families. Some people run out on their marriages. Some people run out of great opportunities that could have been phenomenal for them had they would have stuck with it, had they would have overcame those problems. Some people run out on their destiny because they are afraid of what may happen, or they're afraid to begin, or when they get a couple little obstacles in their way. Hey, no sense in me fighting. This thing is greater than me. I'm scared. I can't do this. I can't. I won't. It's too strong. It's beat me before. I don't care how many times you get beat. You always come back and fight and face your enemy. Either your enemy is going to be worn down and defeated, or he's going to defeat you, or it's going to defeat you. No other two ways around it. There is nothing humble, nothing humble and graceful about constantly living a life of defeat, constantly living a life of small thinking, constantly playing low, and constantly being the tail. There is no glory in that. You're only gonna get the victory when you overcome. You are going to have to learn to be an overcomer. And overcomers have this in common: they stop running, they turn, they face, and they fight. They fight for their victories. These seemingly success stories that you hear, sometimes these overnight success stories, which often is like 20 something years, 10, 15, 20 years of doing the work behind the scenes, facing your fears, facing the battles, before and overcoming those battles where you can move into a next step. I have been in sales a long time, for decades and stuff. And I still face fears right the heck now, even though I'm very, very good at sales. One of the biggest fears is you have to face is rejection. There are sometimes, you take rejection, and it starts seeping in your spirit. It starts neutralizing. You actually start thinking that people are going to automatically say no to you before you even open your mouth. And I've learned that what my trigger is to that is that what is, once I open the car door and once my feet hit the pavement, I become another person. I become a confident person. I become a person with a mission, with a goal. I become a bold person. I sit up there and walk in and start expecting the victory. I started monitoring the way I speak and monitoring the way my body language is coming off, monitoring the way I look, monitoring what the proper time to talk to that customer, the proper time to put myself in the best favorable light in order to get that sale. And so that's just one of the things I learned about me. The biggest thing that my trigger was, hey, once I open the car door, and sometimes it can literally be that simple. Once I make the phone call, once I start picking up the phone and they say hello, it's just like a switch turns on to me. As far as with that, often with sales, I'm actually a kind of different person I am in private life. I really don't like necessarily going and talking to strangers, but I know that's how I make my living. I know that's how I pay my bills. I know that's what funds my retirement. That's what funds my lifestyle. So I can't allow that to constantly keep defeating me, because at the end of that day, if I keep allowing that, what's on the other side of that? Unemployment, starting over, going out there, shortness of income. With shortness of income, lack ability to pay for my basic needs and my services I so need, the desperate need to survive. What is it? If you want to be a great lawyer, the first thing is to see yourself as that. The first thing is to face that enemy of your image. Man, that's cool. The enemy of your image, and defeat that. Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I'm not some weakling. I'm not some person prone to give up all the time. I'm not some person, who expects to defeat. I expect to be an attorney. I expect to be a doctor. I expect to be a chemical engineer. I expect to be a great influence in the world and make an impact. I expect to make a lot of money. I expect to have a lifestyle that most people dream, because I'm fighting my enemies and I'm paying the price to overcome it. That's how you got to talk to yourself. And then finally, you have to pay that price. You have to pay that price by actively, because vehemently viciously working to make things happen. You have to viciously prepare yourself to be a doer, to be an achiever, to not be a talker, but to be out there and being a walker of your ways and your success steps. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Actually, success is a blueprint for a blueprint that's ever going on and on and on for victory. You don't do things right once at a time. You don't sit around there and just happen to stumble upon victory. You plan for it. You see it. You actually achieve it. You actually walk in it. And then once again, once you get ready for that, and you rest and celebrate your victory, which you should do. Sit back, stretch your hands out, thank God Almighty. Go get you a treat to reward yourself for that success. Maybe go get a nice dinner that you probably had in. Maybe go see a nice show or do something to reward yourself. But after that, don't get so comfortable with your past successes that it stops you from advancing to your future successes. I'm talking to people even who have achieved their goals, people who are walking in what they said they want in. Never get comfortable, ladies and gentlemen. Never think it's a point you're gonna arrive. My father has taught me so many lessons as I've referenced him so many the times on my channel. My father said anyone can get something, anyone can achieve something. That's not the issue. Can you keep it? Can you hold it? The achieving part is good. You know that's actually a half of the battle right there. The major battle is maintaining what you have achieved, expanding what you have achieved. You have to do the steps that led you to the victory. You have to constantly do that, constantly keep that involved. What are you putting in your mind, ladies and gentlemen? What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? You know what? How are you? What is your self-talk conversation about? What is your vision of yourself about? What are you? How are you interacting? Who are you interacting with? Are you hanging around winners? I promise you the conversation is going to be different. Or you just hanging around people who just trying to get by, telling you what the news network it says or the radio network it says. Do you know the news networks and the broadcasters? Do you know they make millions of dollars? Some of them the forecast negative news. Do you often see the lack of positive interaction? It's always the majority of it is negative, even though they're getting paid millions of dollars. How is that helping you? How is that helping you listen to that stuff? How is that helping you watching the World Star Fight videos? How is it helping you watching some channels that is always strife and contentions and always talk about what they're not doing and who we need who we need to stay away from and what's the next gossip feed and who has lost, who has got defeated. You know, you start taking that into your spirit, you're gonna start by absolutely just being around that poison is going to start seeping in you and it's going to affect you. What books are you reading? You know, what seminars are you attending? Are you hanging around winners? Who are the majority of the people in your phone contacts? Are those people, would they breathe life into you? Are you breathing life into them? Or do they always have some type of drama? Are they the ones you like to call? Are they the ones who you like to hear from? Or do you like to hear from the ones, the encouragers, the exhorters, the ones who build you up, the ones who don't break you down, the ones who encourage you, the ones who put the light of fire on you, the ones who challenge you, the one who don't accept your mediocrity, the one who doesn't accept your excuses of why you can't do something. Or those are the ones I want. Those are the people I want to hear from. And I've learned, that I have very few of those people, very, very few of them. Although I know many people, I have very few that just fit that mantra right there. And those are the people I talk to the most. Those are the people who I derive encouragement from and strength from. Those are the people who engage me to face my issues, to fight, to learn how to fight a better way, to learn how to fight in a more skillful way. Often when you're studying martial arts, or any type of discipline, you are prepared to take a hit before you give one. Some martial arts, such as the one I study, we're not prepared to get a hit at all. We're just prepared to give them. We're not interested in taking blows. We're prepared in giving blows and neutralizing our opponent before they can even get started. And that's another thing you want to do. You want to neutralize the voices and the voices in your head, the enemies in your life, before they can even get started. In other words, you want to destroy the planes before they get in the air. Well, you want to destroy the planes while they're on the ground. If you wait till they're in the air, it's going to be much more harder. You're going to have a much more bigger fight. You want to destroy something when it's small. You don't let it cultivate it and matriculate it and grow into something that's going to be a major problem. Daddy also taught me you got to bend the tree while it's young. You got to bend a tree while it's young. What are you doing to constantly work on your daily mental strength, your daily physical strength? You're going to need energy to achieve things in life, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to have energy to fight. So therefore, both your mental and your physical diet is going to be very, very important. If you're tired all the time, if you feel worried all the time, I used to face these things, and practically everything I talk to you guys about, I've lived. That's why I can speak it so emphatically. That's why I can speak it so passionately. You're gonna have to build that strength, because you have to go out there and fight. You got to get proper rest. You got to get proper victory. You got to sometimes encourage yourself and cheer yourself up. There's sometimes there's not going to be people around you to always say it's all right. So therefore, you're going to have to tell yourself that things are all right. You are the only one who always spends time with you. So therefore, you have to take care of you. You got to sharpen your sword during peace times. You got to build your arsenal during times of peace. So when it's time for war, you're ready to engage. You have to keep your skills sharp. You have to keep your mental image sharp. You have to keep your dreams and goals before you, always and constantly. You achieve them, you go on to bigger and better things. You achieve that, you go on to bigger things. When do you stop? When God calls you home. When God decides you've lived on his earth for long enough, you have to leave exhausted, knowing that you have accomplished things, knowing that you have accomplished his will for your life, knowing that you have accomplished his destiny, and your family can live off of that fruit that you paid the price for. No, the first part of paying, overcoming and enjoying the spoils of war, they're first for you, and then you can share it with others. Then you can be able to talk to other people, and then you can be able to see people will see your results, and people, guess what? They would be drawn to you. They would say, "Man, how did you overcome this? Why did you fight? Hey, I got this problem right here." And, it seemed to be insurmountable. First of all, no problem is insurmountable. You just haven't found a way to win it yet. No, especially if it's a mindset problem. You can take control of your mind. You can take control of your attitude, not necessarily control over anyone else's attitude or anyone else's mindset, but you can take control over your mental mindset and your attitude. That only belongs to you and only you. You sit around up in there and you are the steward. You allow what goes in your ear gate. You allow what goes in your eye gate. And what goes in your ear gate and goes in your eye gate will go in your heart. And what goes in your heart will come out your mouth. It's simple as that. It will come out your actions and things like that. Stop running. Stop running. Get this resolution right now, right during this time while we're sitting up here talking on the street. I don't run. I don't run from things. I don't run from people. I don't run for challenges. I face and I fight. Is there a chance I could get defeated? Yeah. Is there a chance I can get hurt? Yeah. But you got to put the fear in them that they're going to get hurt worse. They're going to get beat worse. It's going to be a much of a fight for them. Much of the fight for them, and probably casualties for them, just like they're trying to bring the casualty to you. Change your mindset, people. Stop with this mediocre living. Stop with this mediocre playing it safe. Stop with this playing it small. David Schwartz wrote a book called The Magic of Thinking Big, and I recommend you guys read that. Expand your thinking, expand your boundaries, expand your vision, expand your horizons. See yourself being the person you want to be. See yourself being able to travel without limits. See yourself not constricted by time or money to live your life the way you want to live it, to live your life on your terms. Am I saying that you live a life that's going to cause hurt and grief and pain to someone else? No, no. God Almighty will stand against you on that one, personally himself. You want to live a life that exalts people, that raises people up. And sometimes you don't even have to open your mouth. They can see your example. And that's often what they see far as from you. Get courage in your life. Get courage and get resolution in your life. Stop being an excuse maker. Stop being an excuse taker. Stop saying tomorrow. It's not a good time right now. I'll engage that later. I'll do that later. Not now. I'll just go ahead and do that later. What you're really saying, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to do it now. I'm afraid. That's why I'm not starting. But I just got to give myself a nice little excuse so it sounds good to others, and especially it sounds to myself of why I'm not fighting. How has that served you so far? We've all faced that. Has that bought you a life or the outcome that you want? Has that bought you the inner peace that you want? Or has it bought you turmoil? I submit to you, it's brought you nothing but turmoil, and it will continue to bring you to turmoil. There are some things you cannot keep running from. You can't just keep running. You can't just keep, picking up your tent and just pitching it somewhere else. Sometimes you got to have, you got to fight for your ground, and you got to fight to maintain your territory, and you got to fight to expand your territory. And rules like business, I like to say that business is nothing but warfare without the bloodiness, without the killing and stuff like that. But make no doubt about it. And the name of business is to make a profit, and the name of business is to win, to beat the competitors, to beat the other guy. Because while you're sleeping, your competitors are staying awake. They're looking at how to take market share from you. Even on a more wicked things. You got a good man, you got a good woman. Do you know someone has their eyes on them and plotting waiting for you to slip, or waiting for you to get in weakness and inconsistency so they can take what's yours? It happens every single day. It has happened through centuries and stuff like that. Are you one of those? Well, okay, I guess it didn't work out. I guess they can go, or my marriage can be, be forfeited. I'll just I'll just go ahead and find someone else. I'll just find the perfect person who will just sit there with me, and I don't have to fight to keep a great relationship. I don't have to fight to keep good relationship with my children or my employer or my suppliers or my customers. I don't have to fight. If they left, well, I guess that's on them. You got to turn around and start looking at yourself. You got to turn around there. Why would they want to leave? Could it see that they see weaknesses in me? Could it see that they see lack of confidence? Could they see that I don't fight enough for their business? I don't fight enough for the relationship. I don't fight enough for my destiny. Yeah, sometimes you do got to fight for relationships. Sometimes you do got to fight for harmony and peace and stuff like that. It's not going to just come. It's not just going to happen without you putting in some work to make it happen. You got to make things go your way, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be the one that sets the rules in your life, and you got to be the one that sets the outcome. How dare you give that over to someone else? How dare you just go ahead and give the wheel of your life just to someone else, or especially an enemy? They're going to run you on the rocks. They're going to extract all your wealth out of you. They're going to extract all your resources. You use that as a benefit, just like the Europeans have done the continent of Africa. It works great if you don't have a strong defense. If you don't have a strong thing, you can go in there and take resources that were meant for one people, and you can make them yours simply because they don't have a resolution to fight. They like peace at any cost. They want to be liked and fit into a system, and they want to have these self-interests just to look out for their own self and stuff instead of for the whole of the people and stuff. Little wonder people like that get dominated, and they have been dominated through histories. The Romans did it, the Greeks did it, other African tribes did it, Native Americans did it to other tribes, and people don't see this. They don't put that together, and they don't understand the importance of having a strong defense, the importance of building strength, the importance of being someone who is a conqueror, the importance of being someone who can defend from the conqueror. They just think, okay, well, if I'm nice enough, if I submit enough, they'll just leave me alone. No, they won't. They will enslave you. They will take from you, and they will take from your generation. They will use the very things that can bless you to bless them, and put you in abject poverty, put you in abject humiliation. So it is with spiritual enemies. So it is with enemies of the soul. So it is with the wrong mindset. It will enslave you. It will enslave you. You will be a person that other people takes your wonderful God-given gift, your wonderful resource, and they would use it for their wealth creation and their family's wealth creation, and they replace you with your gift with poverty. Now, do you really want to allow that? Do you really want to allow hang-ups to just keep constantly stealing from you, constantly taking from you, constantly setting the objectives and the rules for your life? Or do you want to be a person like hell to the no? This is gonna stop. No, dude, no, this ain't rocking anymore. I'm coming after you to destroy you. I'm coming after you to kill you. I'm not. You're not gonna rise up against me. When you go against me, or you go against what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to be in life, or what I'm trying to achieve, what I must achieve for my family and stuff like that. I'm going to destroy you. Or you gotta look at the flip side of that coin, or I'm gonna be destroyed. Either way, I'm gonna fight. Either way, you're gonna know you gotta fight on the hand. I'm not just gonna lie down and lay down and just keep letting you walk all over me. I'm not just gonna keep doing that. I don't care if the enemy calls themselves fear. I don't care if the enemy calls itself hesitation. I don't care if the enemy calls itself enemy. I don't care if the enemy calls itself jealousy, envy, or whatever thing. You're not fitting in someone else's game. Start your own. You constantly keep running into obstacles, and you got the talent to do that. Have the courage out to build your own platform. Have the courage out to build your own way. Have the courage out, to be a ruler, and not just a follower, not just being a servant. Servant's good, provided it's used in the right aspect. You got to serve people. You got to serve your customers and stuff like that. I'm talking about being a servant that's like a slave. Where you just go to and fro life. I was at an incredible sales conference yesterday, and the presenters were people who were very successful in their craft. They had built businesses, and they had sold those businesses, and they was working in a speaking platform, and it hit me. Power is in ownership. They had left their businesses, sold their businesses, even some of them even maintained their businesses. They had that thing on automatic pilot. They built something up, and they were able to travel around and do the lifestyle that they wanted. Meanwhile, the other people's working for them to maintain that lifestyle. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? What do you got going that's going to maintain the lifestyle that you want? You want to call it retirement? Okay, if your retirement is very, very good, find it on what very, very good is for you. Okay, how can you add to that? How can you get your time freedom? How can you get your financial freedom? How can you be able to be able to walk in a way of destroying an enemy that stops you from living a life that you want to live on your terms? What can you do? What can you do? How can you overcome? How can you achieve the victory? How can you maintain that victory? What can you do? What are you not doing? Examine your ways. If you're constantly being defeated by the same enemy, see where you need to fortify. See what you need to get rid of. See what you need to bring into your life. See what you need to do to get that victory. Make adjustments. Make adjustments for victory. Learn how to be a more skillful fighter, a more skillful warrior. Learn how to strike surgically. Learn how not to telegraph your moves. Learn how to move in steps and steps that are going to lead you to victory. Learn how to not see people. Learn how to not let people see your coming. Learn how to do all those things like that, and go ahead and build yourself up privately when you're in your home, when you're around the people who encourage you. Learn how to build strength out there, so when you're in battle and you get ready to go in battle and stuff like that, you have already forecasted this in your mind enough. You've already seen victory, so you automatically walk in it. You automatically do the steps that's necessary to walk in it. Don't ever beg someone to stay with you who wants to go. Don't ever beg someone who doesn't want you on their platform and their job. Don't ever never beg them, and don't even thank them for the opportunity. Don't even tell them how grateful you are for the opportunity. What? You're thanking them for defeat? You're thanking them for defeat? But often I've learned a lot of times, and I especially when I became a business owner and had my first business, I learned that I didn't fire people. People fired themselves. I didn't do that. People did it to themselves. They wasn't productive enough. They were headaches. They were problems. And, and I choose to get rid of them. I remember making a move one time on a insubordinate, obstinate, stubborn employee who had a God complex. And I decided on my way home he was fired right then. I was just gonna let him know in the morning. And I dealt with that. And guess what? Things just started getting better. The relationship started, the business started getting better. I've done that with people. I don't like people who bring contention in my life. I don't like people who bring strife in my life. I can't stand strife. I can't stand disharmony or anything. Especially around my environments, what I control, my home, my workplaces. You will not bring that type of stuff into me. If you're in my territory, it's going to be by my rules. It's going to be by my rules, whether you like them or not, but you will respect the fact that the fact of my ground, and you will respect the terms that I have set for you to be on my ground. Or I just got a simple thing for you. I will get you off of my ground. Now, I didn't used to be like that. I used to be nice. I used to think things were going to change. I used to think things were going to change. I used to think things were going to get better, But when I moved on these people, or when I moved on these situations, then the peace came. It was just like a cloud was lifted, and all of a sudden life got better and the harmony returned. You have to understand that. Stop running. Stop running. Turn. Face. Fight your enemies. Fight your fears. Fight your hangups. Fight your setbacks. Fight your weaknesses. Because only by doing that can you walk in the area of victory that you deserve. Yes, you deserve it. Yes, you deserve it. The success is not given over to just special people. Success is not given over to the people who had the right last name or any of that stuff. Success is given to those who fight for it and fight to maintain it. And that's what it stays in. That's the price for walking in victory. You fight for it and you fight to maintain it. And anything that threatens that, you get rid of that if you can invoke change. Now, there are going to be some things that you're going to have to work with people. You're going to have to work with situations. You're going to probably have to have conversations, seeing like, hey, what's going on? What's causing this hang up right here? Is there something we could talk about? But they sort of dead set on like, no, it ain't nothing to talk about. It's you. It's what you doing. An environment you control, you get rid of that. You don't even put up with that. I had to talk with an individual. I had to move on just recently, and in part of my territory. And I said to this individual, it's always someone else's fault, Hazel. You never take responsibility for anything. You keep going around this circle, round and round and round. You never look at yourself. It's always someone else. Someone else has did you wicked. Those people did you wrong, and all that kind of stuff. Get out, get away from me, and don't come back. Did I feel sorry for that? No, because I know I've I know I had given a helping hand. I know I had had the good intentions and things like that. Evidently, my good intentions were not enough in this case. It was easy for me to solve. I just broke fellowship with that individual, and I don't lose an ounce of sleep about it. And nor should you. Ladies and gentlemen, be an overcomer. Be a man or woman of courage. Stop taking excuses for yourself. As a matter of fact, get this excuses stuff out your life. The world doesn't care about your excuses. They only care about your results. That's the way it works. They only care about your results. They're not prone to listen to your "someone done me wrong" song. Oh, they will emphasize, but for so long. After a while, they like, get the hell away from me. All you're doing is talking negative all the time. All you're doing is talking about what can't be done. If you can't do it, I'm going to find someone who will. Now, when they usher walk your happy end out of there, was it their fault? Was it their fault necessarily? Especially you keep facing the same thing. Or when are you going to start looking at yourself? When are you going to start developing courage? The weak the fearful, the anxiety, the ones who hold anxiety, the ones who hold dread of what can go wrong, they're always going to be dominated. They're always going to be dominated. And after they're dominated, and after everything is extracted out of their life, they're going to be cast aside, like a dirty paper towel. And then they're gonna be the ones who are living under that humiliation. Talk about what could have been, what should have been. No, it could have been, but you didn't have the courage to fight. You displayed weaknesses. You displayed fear. You displayed an attitude of slave-like submission. You didn't fight for yourself. You didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't go out there and put in the work, or you half-ass put in the work. You didn't go out there and you didn't go out there and become more knowledgeable about your craft. You didn't come up there and build mental strength. You just came in there to make excuses. You got hung up on titles instead of performance. And you wonder why things keep happening to you. You wonder why you keep attracting the same spirit in people with different bodies. You wonder about those things? Have you ever take time to inventory yourself? Which where it always begins? Are you being so nice that you're surfeity stupid? They know that anybody can pose their wills on anything with you because you don't want to fight. Sometimes it's necessary, ladies and gentlemen. And when it involves victory, it's always necessary to fight. So thank you guys for tuning in. I feel very, very passionate about this, man. I mean, when I made that resolution to consistently fight, the stop running, or to stop halfway fighting, or to stop fighting a way that this enemy think it could rise up and come after me again, I've lived misery. Now, my personality is one of confidence. It's one of fires. I hate people who try to dominate people, especially they think they can. I hate bullies. They have no place, but a bully won't stop unless you stop them. Bully on the job, bully in relationships, they won't stop unless you stop them. As a matter of fact, they get joy out of your domination, or out of them dominating you. No, you got to say no more. You got to take life but you got to take life by the throat, and you got to squeeze everything you can out of it. Because that's the price for living your life on your terms. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you've learned something from this. Hopefully this has inspired you. Hopefully this has built up your resolve. Hopefully this has gotten you to think, yeah, I have been running too much, and I have been running too long. I'm tired. I'm going to stop this, and I'm not going to be nice about it. But this thing is going to change. And I'm going to live the life that I'm supposed to live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Please like and share this stream. Please leave your comments. I look at those, and I love the feedback. I love the conversations that you have. I love seeing whether or not I'm being effective. And I just get a kick out of that. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And because of you, this channel is growing. And because of you, this channel is going to reach its goal. And I'll be in a position, if I don't want to do anything else, I could just live off the revenues of this channel. But I do want to do other things. I want to have multiple opportunities, multiple income streams. I want to have multiple choices. I want to have so many choices. I got to say no to a lot of good things. Not necessarily no to a lot of bad things. God bless you. Thank you so very much. Hang around winners if you want to be one. Talk like a winner if you want to be one. Act like a winner if you want to be one. And work like a winner if you want to be one. Thank you guys so much. Do enjoy your evening.